Versatile Mage. Chapter 647. The Apotheosis Ceremony. The Dark Abyss is getting closer to the city. Mo Fan spoke up before Hu Jin could continue. Mo Fan's words brought a great shock to the crowd, so strong that even their inner organs were almost shattered by the impact. The Dark Abyss was moving toward the inner city. Zhu Meng was the first to react. He quickly recalled the last few appearances of the Dark Abyss. The first time was at the end of the drifting sand river, around 700 kilometers to the west of the ancient capital. The second time was at Xianqi, where the villages were located. The third time was to the north of the city, only 30 kilometers away. This time, it had simply appeared right in the city. Even though the city north was already devoured by the ocean of undead, it had always been moving toward the city. If the Dark Abyss that could easily kill the Nether Bone Ruler appeared right on top of the inner city filled with millions of people. Zhu Meng shuddered. His eyes widened, to the extent that they almost exploded. He did not dare to imagine it further. The next space shift of the Dark Abyss will be the time of death for all of you. Whether it be the commoners as common as cockroaches or mice in this city, or you magicians with high positions, you are going to die. You're all going to die. Humph, what a festival. It is the greatest time ever for our Vatican, and our senior Salon is about to become a god during this festival. Everyone will kneel in front of the god of death, Salon's feet. They will submit to his wisdom and invention. Hu Jin's passionate behavior served as a bright contrast to the silence among the magicians on the clock tower. It turned out the Dark Abyss had always been the Black Vatican's plan. No wonder Zhang Xiaohou had bumped into Mo He close to the Dark Abyss, as they were behind it all along. Looking at the situation, would anyone still think that Salon and his men were just a motley group of people? This Salon was really the god of death, the deity of darkness who lived to create death. Human lives were not just cheap in his eyes. A city that had existed for thousands of years was simply the venue he had chosen for his festival. The undead surrounding the city were escorts for him as he ascended the stairs. Meanwhile, the lives of the millions of people in the city, and the despair and sacrifice of the super magicians, with a bright red carpet that he would be stepping on as he ascended the stairs and apotheosized in the midst of the greatest burial of the century, so the whole world would simply tremble and submit to him. The festival was simply Salon's apotheosis ceremony. The Dark Abyss was terrifying, yet how scary was it compared to Salon's heart? Great Deacon Hu Jin was already worshipping to the north. The people were lost for words, seeing how devout he was. However, the one that brought a greater impact to their minds was Salon, whose heart was just as terrifying as the Dark Abyss. He had conducted the festival just to tell the world that Salon, the god of death, was standing right here in the ancient capital. Han Ji was feeling regret on top of the despair swarming his heart. If they proceeded with their plan, the millions of people in the city would die, and so would Salon. The man did not even give everyone the chance to be afraid of him. He was worthy of being called the god of death, without a doubt. However, what was the point of feeling regretful now? With the ocean of undead surrounding the inner city, the Dark Abyss would most likely appear right in the center of the inner city after tomorrow's dusk. The little city would be consumed by the furnace of hell, including the millions of people inside it. As tears rolled down Han Ji's cheek, he dropped to his knees helplessly. The extremely talented magician had turned into a decrepit old man at this moment. Salon, just take whatever you want, but I, Han Ji, am begging you, please spare the people in this city. Han Ji's voice was trembling. The authorities looked at Han Ji in disbelief. The man who had never surrendered to evil influence was begging the Black Vatican for mercy. He was kneeling in front of the Red Cardinal Salon. How miserable did he need to be, and how shattered was his dignity to be able to do such a thing? The mysterious man stood there with a blank expression. It turned out that he was never close to learning the Black Vatican's real conspiracy. He had suffered a complete defeat. The ancient king's imperial tomb was located in the unstoppable Dark Abyss. The Dark Abyss would eventually drift into the inner city. The whole place was going to be dragged into the abyss of hell. The so-called glimpse of hope was actually taking away everyone's last glimpse of hope, urging them to prepare themselves to sacrifice their lives for the Black Vatican's grand ceremony. The mysterious man glanced at the authority figures who had been released. Everyone was wearing the same despair and blank face, yet he knew that one of them was actually laughing in his heart, like a devil that had trampled the city under feet tied with black chains. "It's no use, President." The mysterious man helped Han Ji to his feet. If Salan's true goal was to trample the authority and dignity of the magic association that had lasted for thousands of years, he had already done it. It was exactly as Great Deacon Hu Jin had mentioned. Salan was aiming to become a god of death that would shock the whole world. The festival was necessary. So was the destruction of the whole city. How long had they been planning the festival? The Black Vatican had managed to dig up even more secrets than the Magic Association was aware of. They knew the secrets of the villages, how Bo City was related to the villages, the secrets of the Dark Abyss, and the way to control where it would appear. Were they really going to wait for the deaths, just like that? The mysterious man was still supporting Han Ji. His eyes were still fixed on the people who had been released, trying to find something suspicious from their reaction. Besides, if they knew they were actually going to be executed before they were held in custody, would they really have surrendered that easily? Everyone had the desire to stay alive. Even if he ordered the Imperial magicians to capture and execute them, the person that tried to resist would not necessarily be Salan. Both sides would simply suffer losses from the infighting. As the mysterious man was lost in despair and anger, an Imperial magician slowly walked up to him and handed him a letter. The mysterious man opened the letter. His eyes flickered when he saw the symbols that only he could read. The man had finally brought back the news. The mysterious man quickly read the message. His expression changed gradually the more he read the content. His hands even started trembling in the end. Hope. The last line was the real hope they were looking for. The mysterious man immediately looked at Fang Gu, Mo Fan, Zhang Xiaoho, and the others, yet considering that Salan was still among them, he immediately whispered into Han Ji's ears. Han Ji's blank pupils finally recovered. "Are you serious? Can we trust the man?" asked Han Ji. "We definitely can," the mysterious man said confidently. "But, can they actually do it?" said Han Ji. "We have no other choice. It's the only chance we have, no matter how slim it is," said the mysterious man firmly. Chapter end. Please guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe.